coolant reservoir. Okay. Oil. So for this oil, you gotta push and twist, right, and it'll come out. But same thing. Okay. Okay. Water pump you talk about from this side. Okay. And the pulley to the water pump is that big dome-looking thing. Okay. The hose is going back to the radiator. You just talk about it. You're not going to be able to follow. They're buried in there. Okay. Master cylinder in the reservoir. Okay. Alternators in here. Talk about it exactly the same way. Now here's where the biggest difference is in here. Okay, in here, right there, that's the power steering pump. Okay, so you talk about it very similar to the water pump. Securely mounted, no missing nuts or bolts, no cuts, no cracks, no leaks. You gotta talk about the pulley, which is this thing in the front, right? No cuts, no cracks, securely mounted, no missing nuts and bolts. The same belt that runs the alternator and the water pump, it's a serpentine belt, runs the rest of them, so I already checked it. Right? No cuts, no cracks, no frays, no more than 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch deflection. Okay? Check the power steering reservoir. No cuts, no cracks, securely mounted, no missing nuts or bolts, not leaking. Fluid should be between the add and the full, or the hot and the cold actually. Okay? The caps, securely mounted, no cuts, no cracks, not leaking. Okay? The hoses coming out of the pump, no cuts, no cracks, securely mounted, no missing nuts or bolts, no ballooning, no leaking. The clamps themselves, right, no cuts, no cracks, securely mounted, no missing nuts or bolts, and not leaking. Okay. That right there is probably the biggest difference. When you talk about the steering box, this is a steering box. Okay. No cuts, no cracks, securely mounted, no missing nuts or bolts, and not leaking. Check the hose going into the steering box. No cuts, no cracks, no ballooning, not leaking. Okay, check the fittings that the hose goes into. No cuts, no cracks, securely mounted, no missing nuts or bolts, not leaking. Okay, that's the biggest difference right there. The power steering stuff, it's in a different place. Okay, it looks different, but it's the same. This is the Pitman arm. There are castle nuts and cotter pins. There's one castle nut cotter pin back there, and the other one is behind here. Okay, but you talk about it the exact same way. This is still the drag link. Okay, you can see in there the upper steering arm is straight. It's not bent like the other one. The lower steering arm is attached to the tie rod. You can see the tie rod back there. Okay, talk about the same thing. Spring mounts, the front spring mount and the rear spring mount. Okay, you got to differentiate. Don't say spring mounts like we used to. Front and rear spring mounts. Okay. What else? The brakes you talk about exactly the same way. You'll be fine.
Well, which one is the line, or which one is the line, and which one is the hose? You know what I mean? 'Cause
The line on this one is actually this right here.
the one that's covered.
No, this one.
Oh, I see the small,
Yeah.
the small one. Right
Yeah,
there.
so it's actually opposite. The other one has the line coming out, then the hose, but this one has the hose, then the line
Hose, then the line going
Yeah.
into the
going into the caliper.
caliper.
Yeah. But everything else is the same. The caliper, the pads, the rotor you can see from in here. And this one, this little cap is still the axle seal. So no cuts, no cracks, securely mounted, no missing nuts, bolts, and not leaking. Okay. The shocks is the same.
Oh yeah, this one no more the shackles.
Yeah, no more straps. Yeah.
No more straps.
Okay. But you talk about the springs just like you did the
Yeah,
other
the same.
one.
The U-bolts and the shock
Yeah.
absorber and
No cuts, no cracks, no missing or misaligned springs. Okay. When you go under the car, right? Drive shaft is the same. There's still carrier bearings, and under here, if you look, there's like a loop that goes around the drive shaft. That's a safety loop. You gotta talk about that. You can see it from this side, Josh.
Upside down.
You see it? That's this thing right here.
Yeah.
That thing right there. Try to get this
See
up.
that?
Right here.
Oh, gosh.
Okay. So in addition, you talk about safety loop. Okay. Now you seen the suspension in the other one, right? The rear suspension. Try looking this one.
This one only has a leaf.
This one only has the leaf. It doesn't have the load and it doesn't have the torque. Okay, so you about it like that.
Laser.
Huh?
It's just newer. There's bigger leaf springs.
And then the gas is on this side.
The gas is on this side. So you have to use visual cues to help you, and then the mud flaps, same thing. We're
Okay.
not fast, right? Oh, that one, the heater defroster. That's right. That's another thing.
Oh,
So the heater defroster does work.
okay.
Okay, here's the important thing. When you turn it on to the defrost, right? The window sign with those squiggly lines, and you gotta turn the temperature up to hot. Okay?
Okay.
Turn the temperature on to hot. There's a squiggly line. Turn it on, right? If I remember when I bring it, I'm gonna turn it there anyway. Yeah. Other than that, they may not give you the credit if you don't have it turned to that. Oh, but you know what? Next week I'm not gonna be able to take the card out, so make sure it's like that.
Okay.
Take a look in there afterwards.
Yeah.
Make sure you know what it looks
Okay.
like.
The defrost.
So this button up here. So this is the heater defroster, right?
Oh, okay, okay.
Heater has to be on defrost. See, the last time we took it, I just set it to that.
Oh,
see it,
okay.
Josh?
Yeah. it's-
Okay. So it has to be on like that. Okay?
And then everything else is the same?
Everything else, pretty much the same. When you look at the back, yeah? The back only has stickers, as reflectors. Okay? That. So I just say the reflectors security mounted. Let's go
Yeah.
this way. Oh yeah, the marker
You
over
have to
here.
check this?
You don't have to check that. But still the same thing, right? Signal lights on the top, brake lights, reverse, the license plate light, clearance and ID lights up there. Okay.
And this has the wires too, yeah?
The
Same thing?
cable, yeah.
The cable.
door cables.
Yeah, door cable. So this is the-
Yep. Okay. Okay. Same thing. Just bumper mounts.